Hey everyone, Scott Solari with RealSync, and I'm super excited to be interviewing Lindsey Della Sala. One of our great clients, runs a great team, and Lindsey, I'm just gonna ask you a few questions to give a little framework about your business, and I really appreciate you being here so our clients can kind of understand how we work together. But to start off, tell us a little bit about your business and what you're doing right now, and as far as real estate's concerned.
Sure. So this year in 2021, our goal was to sell 1,500 homes. I think we are tracking to sell around 2,400 homes, so a little higher than our goal.
Wow.
Uh, our CRM is BoomTown, and it is amazing, and it does a lot of what we need. But we needed something to help us, something that would make all of my dreams come true. And we found that RealSync is the answer to doing a lot of those things. Just, I don't know, they make dreams come true. And
Yeah.
so we use Sisu, we use some other platforms, and
Wait, let's back up real quick though before we go into all that. Tell me a little bit more about, like, so you're tracking to do 2,400 homes. What market are you in again? And then how many team members do you have? Like, what? Give us a little insight about your business more specifically.
yeah, so it's the DJ and Lindsay team. We're in Jacksonville, Florida, St. Augustine, Florida, and then earlier this year in March, we expanded down to Palm Beach County, so in South Florida. So we have, those three main offices, Jacksonville being kind of our hub. We are the official real estate team for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So we have a
Nice.
large office there, kind of right in the middle of town, in town center. We have almost 10,000 square feet there. So that kind of houses a ton of agents on the entire team right now. We have about 110 agents. We have
Wow.
about 50 employees kind of supporting them, whether that's in transaction coordinating or in marketing, technology, administrative, other leadership roles. So that's kind of an overview of the team. Kind of every year since 2015, we've essentially doubled our business every single year. So
And that's amazing. So overall, you have about 150 people working for your business, which is a sizable business, especially in real estate. I mean, unless you're talking about being a Remax broker or something like that, right? That's a big business. So with that comes a lot of systems that you need to have, and also needing to have clarity, visibility, right, about the money you're spending on lead generation, conversion,
yeah.
and just tracking everything so that there's not a lot of essentially holes within that business where you're, bleeding maybe money, or you're trying not to bleed money, right? So tell me a little about how that's evolved,
Yeah.
and some of the main systems that you're using now to make sure that you're staying on top of your business.
So we use a lot of systems, and then a lot of those systems support a lot of where our leads come from. So for example, we are Zillow's broker partner for their Zillow Offers program. We're also part of the Zillow Flex program, which has invited lots of challenges into our business.
Right.
And also market VIP with Realtor.com, meaning we have like 72 exclusive zip codes in our market. No one else can even buy Realtor.com leads. So we do have a lot of portal leads coming into our systems. We're using BoomTown, we're using Dotloop, we're using Sisu, we're using the Zillow Premier app really, really heavily. And then we're using RealSync.
Right.
Kind of bridge those things and make them all communicate, or really to help out with things like accounting. It just makes things easily visible, and it makes things happen, and makes everyone's job, I think, easier.
Awesome. Yes, let's talk a little bit more about that. So you have these systems in place, and then you're like what was kind of the problem,
Sure.
or the pain that you were running into with using some of these systems?
Sure. So just some of these systems, they're wonderful, but sometimes they don't all communicate with each other, or there are some things that they're just not capable of doing. And so that's when we kind of enlisted RealSync. We're like, okay, they can make things happen. So initially that was getting some data from BoomTown and making that appear in Sisu. And we kind of do some custom things on how we track things. And so RealSync was like that answer to a lot of that custom reporting. They were just able to make things happen. And then, even so far as using BoomTown with things like using the Zillow Premier app or sending data. We have over 100 and maybe 50,000 leads in our BoomTown database right now. And that's leads, from over the past 10 years. So there's a lot of data in there. And so RealSync is able to kind of just make things happen with the data that, a system might not be able to do. So just customizing things.
Right. So let's talk a little bit about, you were working with us, and then you realized that we can do some custom integration, or basically do some custom mapping of fields or data that you needed from one system to another. So I know specifically you've been working with us with our pilot program with the Zillow Premier, the Zillow offers and Flex. Maybe tell us a little bit about what specific issue you were having with Zillow, and then how we're able to help you a little bit at solving some of it, at least for now, right? Until we can do more.
Yeah, no, I think it solves a lot of it. What we're actively using right now, which I think would work for a multitude of things, right? And I just use it for this one specific thing right now, but I'll probably be using it for other things. As an example, I could have a lead in my system that came onto my platform 2 years ago, or maybe even 6 months ago, maybe even 1 week ago. And we are actively working with this lead. And so RealSync has created this like magic thing that happens every night at midnight, where it's looking at my system and it's seeing if something already existed in the system. So if Susie Smith existed in my system, and we've actually had some two-way communication with her in the last, I think it's 30 days. If it comes back into the system, like this lead re-inquires on a third-party site, right? That could be anywhere. That could be Facebook or Google or Realtor.com or Zillow Flex or any kind of platform where maybe you're being referred business. It's actually applying this tag to the lead that I know every morning to go through and look for this tag, and I can kind of review it. Was this a lead that we were actively working? And if it was, do I have some proof that I was actively working it so that I don't have to pay these, big portals, upwards of, 30, 40, 50% of the commission. And so that's been like this very wonderful thing that I think in their business, especially people who are building big databases.
Right. So let's talk about that to the industry as a whole, because this is a big thing that's happening within real estate in general, where companies like Zillow, and rightfully by them, they want to get a piece of the pie too, right? So companies like Zillow or a Realtor are going to this process. Realtor.com or Opcity leads are going to this same process where you don't pay for the leads per se up front, right? When you're part of the Flex program, you pay a commission, a referral commission on the back end. So
fair. Yeah, and in the next year or two, it's been projected that upwards of 65% of all the real estate sales that get done, they will have a referral fee attached to it. And that is exciting and that is fair. But, you just want to make sure that if that is a relationship that, you earned yourself and you've been fostering it, that, you don't want to pay that unnecessary fee on top of it if that was a business, that you generated.
Yeah, 100%. Because we know, especially when you've been in the business a long time, and there's a lot of teams like you guys out there, where you've generated a lot of contacts and you've built a community, you've built a brand, right? And they're coming in and they're seeing you everywhere. And so you don't want to have to pay out a referral fee if all of a sudden they decide to use the Zillow app when you've been nurturing them for a year, 2 years, 30 days, whatever it is. That can be, it can be a detriment to your business long-term, or it can be very profitable if you have something like RealSync helping you kind of navigate through those leads, because we're able to kind of put that layer of customization on your BoomTown.
Yeah, and so it's something that's just Obviously, we're so grateful for those big portals, and they do generate a lot. And it's not something that's happening all the time. It's helpful to have some customization that just kind of protects any kind of brand or business that you're generating yourself, and whether that's one transaction a day or if that's 10 a day, whatever it is, it's more than zero, and it is business that you created for yourself, and it is important just for your own accounting purposes so that you can
Yeah,
run a profitable business.
absolutely. So we're kind of nearing the end here. I want to ask you a couple more questions, but one of them is, since we've been able to do this for you, do you have any specific maybe stories or things that have happened that have helped you with this process that we're talking about?
Yeah, so like a very specific example would be, that they did find our website. They actually called us on a Google local service ad,
Mhm.
and we were showing them property, and they came in, maybe about 4 days ago. And then you have to think, buyers, right? They are obsessed with the house. They want to send it to people. They're always clicking and inquiring, maybe on that house that you originally showed them. And so they do end up coming in on one of those portal leads. And so, this happened to be, a $700,000 home. And so it was really nice to have that visibility that RealSync was able to create this tag that said, whoa, 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 you need to investigate this one. This looks like a lead that you were actively working. They did inquire on this property on a big portal. And so we were able to actually dispute that. And all the big portals, they're kind and they are generous and they are okay with it if you can prove that you do have a relationship with them. And so that is a very specific example
Yeah.
of that is real money
Yeah,
that
absolutely. I mean, you could have had to pay out, on 700,000. That's, maybe a $20,000 commit, that's $20,000 commission. If you have to pay out
that you're
five or seven or eight, right? That's a lot of money.
a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. So that's awesome. That makes me really happy that those types of things are happening for you guys. And so I guess my last question would be, kind of wrap this whole thing up, is overall, like, having some of these automated features and these integrations between systems, like, how, I guess, maybe talk a little bit about the feeling it's created for you within your business to know that these things are working in the background for you, and what you'd recommend for other people that are watching this out there.
Yeah, I think everyone else, I think if they can just have that same mindset that I had, like if it's something, a pain point in your business where it's especially something with data and things communicating with each other, if you can, if you think that there could be a solution and maybe you come up with the solution, RealSync can pretty much build that solution for you. They can actually make it happen. If you can explain it well enough and the data's coming in, they can actually build that custom solution for you to, help you run your business.
Awesome. Well, Lindsey, I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being a great client of RealSync. And if you're out there and you're looking to, like Lindsey said, you have a vision and an idea of something that you want to solve with data, communication, integration, and automation, we can bring that vision to light. And it's just technology, so things have to connect somehow or another. Just a matter of figuring out how to do it, right? So thanks so much for watching. Lindsey, thanks so much for taking your time. We really appreciate you as a client, and we'll talk to you all soon.